I'm not going to do an intro today. Like, I'm really not going to because we're going to have some
Okay.
fun talking.
Yeah, we're
Yeah. No. Like, this is all live right now.
We're
Hi.
good.
Hi, everyone.
Just say welcome back.
Hi, YouTube. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Nick. This is Ryan here. No, we're going. That's it. We're in here, boss.
Yeah.
It's been a while. We're both here today.
All right, yeah.
Welcome to Rival Stage Gaming. My name is Nick. That's Ryan over there. Ryan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Nick. It's good to be back again.
Dude, it's been too long. I'm so hyped, honestly. I keep punching my hands together. I feel that the game is kind of like not doing too hot in terms of like competitiveness.
Yeah. I'll be quite frank. Since St. Louis, I've played 3, 4, 5 games of UVS in the past 2 months. So my desire to play the game has been at an all-time low for probably the last year and a half, 2 years, because I've been grinding nonstop, and now like the meta right now and the stuff that's in the game isn't too friendly to my play style or just seems frustrating. So it's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah, no, it's.
And I'm like contemplating, like, do I go to Atlanta? Do I not go to Atlanta? I got a lot of friends and teammates who are going. Let's Talk UVS hasn't been practicing as much. It's just a weird lull, like a combination of the meta not being so fun, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, some good cards there, but the power level is kind of off compared to the AOT that we've gotten in the past. So it's kind of feel like we're in a funk.
I feel the same way that like once St. Louis kind of kicked off, or Louisville, like it's just been like, all right, well, everything's kind of done here now, and a lot of people have really hit the brakes for a little bit. Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of fatigue there, but like I don't know, is there anything like that stands out to you as to why like the game is sort of in this spot right now?
Well, for me personally, and I know a lot of people that I've talked to in the community, teammates and just friends and locals that I play with regularly, I think the meta is really, really rough right now, to be honest. As we're recording today, we just got done with Swiss for the Canadian regional. I think there's about 50 people there. And if you look at the top cuts, it's very close to what the past regionals have came out with, Louisville, and then also the international regionals. Same characters, same type of builds. There's been a couple newcomers, but really the last 4 or 5 months have been kind of the same thing. And then UVS Games not backing down by not doing any ban or erratas either to help that, I feel.
Okay, so let's play pretend here, right? Let's pretend, Ryan, and I'm gonna just kind of pitch you a fastball here. Let's pretend that you had to make like a whole package of changes to the game, like effective tonight, effective day 1, or day 2 of the Toronto regional that's going on tomorrow. What specifically, and keep in mind, now this is me asking you this is not UVS Games, and UVS Games don't get mad at us, right? Because we're just trying to help. I think we're just trying to help here. We love.
It's just my opinion.
Yeah, we're just trying to have some fun here.
You don't have to do anything.
You really don't. You clearly don't. Okay.
You maybe should, but you don't have to. That final say.
And who am I? Who am I to tell you anything?
Right.
Okay. So with that being said, out of the way here, and let's start with kind of the first step to fixing the meta. And keep in mind, everyone, when you start thinking about this, you start calling us crazy. Keep in mind that all of these changes would be applied together. This isn't like pick piece by piece.
Yeah.
Like this.
We made this list of stuff that for it to work, and I'll kind of explain it as I go through it. This has to be a block. I feel like you can't take bits and pieces of it because other stuff will just immediately rise up. I think that this list I'm about to go through covers a pretty general basis of the meta right now. And if I miss anything, or like if you go, oh, well, now this is crazy and I missed it, put in the comments, tell me what I missed, But I think I got a pretty good grasp on what we could do.
Right off the top here, let's take a look at these character changes.
We're gonna start with the big bad boy himself of Godzilla. I think we can do a character errata for him that will not change his play style, but will change his deck building philosophy, and that he only gets +3 damage on printed 5 difficulty attacks. So if it's a printed 5, it gets +3 damage. How this affects his determined advance. The card is suffocating in him, right? It's a 6 mid for 9, deal with it. I think not getting the extra 3 damage will help with that. Another card that comes to mind is Walk the Dog, right? Walk the Dog is the freest 6 low for 9 in Godzilla. Draw a card, stun 1, does everything you want, right? So not getting an extra 3 damage I think can help as well. And then also Titan Cliff, one of the main engines of the card we've seen recently on both Earth and Chaos, right? Discard 3, draw 3, build a 6, which you're already playing 6. Not getting the extra 3 damage I think will help in the long run. The next one that I want to talk about is Azuka Midoriya on the move, Deku 6. This character is extremely suffocating. It did really well today. I actually just recently played it at a winning case up here at Brookfield at GU. I went 2-1 because it was my first time playing in a long time, but after playing it, you gotta max how many forms you can do on the backside. I think it is way too much to give something 15-15 and play and your whole deck building process is protecting that one giant move. Saying either you're playing a bunch of arrow goblin bolts so they can cancel enhances. You're playing the asset to cancel actions. You're playing stopping for breakfast to cancel actions. You're doing everything to protect this one card to one-shot something. So my Rada would be max 2 forms per attack. Still get +6/+6, but you have to string them, right? So there's more interaction with it, and you can't do the Phantom Threat one shot. But I mean, you're still giving 6/6 to everything. It just gives your opponent a little bit more wiggle room to interact with it. And I still think will make him strong and desirable to play. And also maybe might shift him to more of a front side build as well, because the front side's also really strong. Just committing to give 3 speed or minus 3 speed's awesome. But I just think being able to say, I'm going to turtle until I build 10 foundations, and then I'm going to flip, and then all my defense is on my foundations. I'm going to skip all of your enhanced steps, and then I'm going to blow you out with 1 attack, and you can't do anything about it.
What I'm going to do here is turtle, make you not enjoy playing the game somehow with a bunch of control pieces, and then just use like 2 or 3 attacks to kill you, and like we're on our way. I feel like Deku 6 is kind of falling into that, and your change to where you can only basically apply 2 of these abilities to an attack card makes it so that you have to play multiple attacks, and now you have to worry about failing checks, and you don't really have to plan out playing the one big one that's going to get you all the damage right away. So I like that change.
There is a way to counterplay it, but you have to have a really specific sequence of cancels, hand traps, and it's a lot. I think it's just too much for the meta right now. My next one is, speaking of Pony, is also, I would touch Pony a little bit. I would change it to 1 of 2 ways, where her discard 2, draw 1 is either twice per turn or only on her turn. I think the amount of cards that she sees is unbelievable. Being able to cycle through a quarter or even half your deck in 2 turns is a lot. And then just being able to ready foundations and keep going. So I think slowing her down still makes her good, but makes it so you have to get your hand a little bit more in a natural way by restricting how many times you can do it. And same way with counters too.
Pony specifically, like if I don't win the die roll, then I'm basically playing for a draw, hopefully. Like it just sucks. Yeah.
I mean, the Pony builds 4, builds 5, and checks 2 5s in the first attack, and they're off to the races. They get that string can go from 2 attacks to 6 or 7 on turn 2. Obviously, if they have to check right, but the more times it's happened to me than it's not, it's crazy. This one's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But Rodan should not be able to reduce speed while tenacious.
Preach.
While he's committed.
Oh, preach.
I love that character. I played that character for a year, but I think that build, the being able to look at the top 2 and even top 4 while reducing speed, I think you got to pick and choose. Do you want to reduce speed, or do you want to know what you're about to check or draw? So I think that will help that character. I think it will bring it down a peg, a substantial amount, but still make it really competitive in a Premier centimeter still.
We have a bunch of characters erratas. Let's go to erratas for things that aren't characters. Your assets, your foundations, every other thing that basically doesn't have a hand size printed on it.
So first and foremost, City Rampage. I think this card is too free. At first, I was like, I think it just needs to be discard 1 momentum to be able to get it. And then I found that actually, I mean, I'm starting to get a little bit more in the retro, but there was a Dr. Wily called Reprogramming, which is basically the same card, but also it's a first form. So I was like, you know what? That's what it should be. First form, discard 1 momentum, get City Rampage. I think being able to stack City Rampages is a problem. I think being able to City Rampage on turn 2 easily is a problem. So I think it should still exist, but I think you should have to pay a cost to be able to do its really powerful effect, other than just checking a 5.
And City Rampage does need to have some kind of cost attached to it, because making it 5 difficulty is not a real cost. When a majority of the cards in your deck are going to check a control 5, that's not a real. It's not a real cost. And then
most of them are 6s. Most of the good Godzilla decks are from straight 6 checks.
Yeah, so
some of the foundations don't even do anything, but they have a 6 in the bottom corner, so they're playing it.
But the other thing too, I want to point out about it is that this is a 5 control card, and it has a good block on it. Which, if you look at like the Dr. Wily card Reprogramming, that card's a 4 control, right? And then the only other card I can really think of off the top of my head that I can remember is from the Legacy days. It's a card called Challenge the Master. It's a 6 difficulty, 3 control with no block whatsoever, and it can only be played as your first form. So the City Rampage is like the best version of this card that I have ever seen. And I'm surprised it honestly got like printed that way, because it's so absurd. Like, you know, it's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's too free. We're talking about Unyielding Destruction.
And how we need to have more
way too free.
No,
no, way too free. If you guys remember, back to set 2, there was a card that did a very similar thing, but had a crazy amount of requirements. Searing Glacial Storm, 5 difficulty, 2 check, order only enhance. And now this card is morphed into our game as, what is it? Infinity Symbol, 5 difficulty, 3 check, go to 4. And you can play 4 of them, and if you get lucky, you could play that for 4 turns in a row and keep your opponent down to 4 foundations every single time. That
was also a first enhance that you had to play.
Oh, yeah.
And like the enhanced step ended, basically flashing the attack. And Unyielding is a blitz, which are hard to stop in the first place without sealing the card. And then it's also, you get to play the attack. You get the rest of the enhanced step on a not well statted, but a decently statted attack.
I still think it should be in the game to be able to break down walls. I just think that there has to be a hefty cost to it. I'm slapping 2 momentum as a cost. I think you should be able to have it, but it's going to cost you to be able to reset the game. Moving on to the next one. I think this is the most obvious one. I've been talking about this like crazy. I've said it in multiple Discords. Why is the 9 Titans unique? I think the effect is good. And yes, it's a 4 difficulty still, so you have to check somewhat well to play it right, and there's that cost for that. But I just think being able to build it for free and say, hey, -4 damage, or I'm doubling speed or damage, is way too much. And then what if you have 4? I'm playing decks right now that somehow I'm getting 3 or 4 of them, and I'm passing my turn with 2 ready foundations without a care in the world because I'm giving -16 damage across 4 attacks if I have to. So my solution is let's slap the unique tag on it.
There's a card old heads will understand. It's called Standoff, and it was like just around the Jasco purchasing the game days. But it said commit 2 foundations to give an attack plus 4 damage or minus 4 damage, right? So it swung another direction, which is whatever. But the minus 4 damage essentially says I don't have to play a significant portion of the game by not having to block, where you're just you don't care about anything that's happening. And then on the flip side of it, it says, oh, I get to just basically wait until I have like 2 or 3 attacks and then make the last one just crazy. Okay, so we've tried to fix some characters because obviously characters aren't getting banned. We know this. We tried to fix some cards, and now what are the unfixable cards?
Teaming with the Attack Titan. Get it out of here. Don't even want to look at it. Military Airship. This card does way too much. Being able to pick up an Echo that can turn 1 attack 2 momentum into 4 attacks. I think it's really problematic. Also, with it being on the infinity symbol, you know, anybody can play it. I just think it does too much for what it does.
It feels like it's not even like a matter of what, like, should it be banned or like, you know, oh, what its potential. It's just like, what card in the future is going to just be problematic enough with Airship?
I bet I put $10 on it that it doesn't make it a full calendar year.
You know, it doesn't make it a full calendar year.
Yeah, from right now. I think we look a year in the future from today.
Okay.
That card will be banned.
We know what the day is today.
At some point.
And we know what the time is. And we're going to check it in 1 year from now.
We're going to check it. Yeah.
If military airship is still legal.
You got a crisp $10 bill.
I want like a pack of Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah. You know, and a pack of petty sleeves, because Yu Yu Hakusho is probably $9 at that point.
And then finally, this is probably my most spicy ban, but this only works if everything else gets hit that I've already talked about. And that's true 100% Unleashed. I think if you took out all of these items, all the character erratas, the erratas and cards, and the bannings, I think that the evil wall decks would immediately climb to the top. Like, how are you going to break that wall? How are you going to do that? And their main kill condition would be true 100%. They're just going to build up the 15 foundations. They're going to sculpt their hand with 3 true 100% and say, this was a 18 mid for 18. This is an 18 mid for 18. True 100%'s on there only to make up and make it more fair for everything else. So if all of a sudden UVS says, out of everything that took out, that they said, we're going to ban true 100% and nothing else, don't blame me. I said it only works with this whole list.
Okay.
And I got one honorable mention.
Okay.
And that's Sweeping Daggers.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
And the only reason that Sweeping Daggers is allowed to stay is because if Sweeping Daggers got banned, why would you would only play 4 checks? The 4 check attacks are way too good, and the Sweeping Dagger keeps that in check.
If you look at this, like you said, as an entire ecosystem, you know, not as a like certain individual pieces. And if you did all of this together, I think this does start to kind of shape up into some healthy changes. You know, inevitably though, you know, we're probably missing something here. You know, it's something.
I'm sure somebody, if you put in the comments, oh, well, now X, Y, and Z is busted. I'm sorry, I didn't think of it.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's going to be someone's going to pick it prod that.
Oh, your Shin Miyamoto deck is like, no, I totally.
Yeah. Oh no!
I wasn't paying attention.
Miyamoto can now breathe. It's the best deck ever. What we're trying to do is reduce the turn 2, turn 3 chances of the game. I think overall they're very high, and because the game is so dependent on that, I think the die roll is incredibly important. If you sit down right now and you're like, oh, I'm playing Godzilla, and you lose the die roll, I feel it's instant despair. It's like, okay, great, here we go. And no UVS has talked about this before, where they want the games to go a little bit longer, you know, turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, and I think that's kind of like the sweet spot. I think that the die roll won't matter as much. It always will, but maybe it will reduce that percentage. And then also just like in general, breaking serve right now is very difficult, I feel.
I always feel like the answer to a lot of these questions that we have with the game is just kind of like, let's just make sure that new players are getting into the game and they're enjoying the game and not having to deal with this kind of like nonsense stuff. Because when I started playing NPE was everywhere in the game, and it really wasn't fun. And we didn't retain players very well. And are we kind of in that mode right now? I don't think we're as bad. I don't think it's a bad meta right now. I do think it's boring. I'll say that 100%. I think suffocate is the correct word to use here, because if you're not playing something that is on the big portions of the par chart, you're just going to get suffocated out. You won't have any air to do anything in the meta right now.
And I'll say my last little tangent about this thing is just the crazy imbalance in the sets. Like, how can we go from Attack on Titan to a little bit more of like a step towards back with like Critical Role, back to 1,000 with Attack on Titan 3, and then like we're gonna scale it back down with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? Like it's so I either want to stay low or stay high, pick your lane a little bit. There's only like 4 or 5, in my opinion, 4 or 5, 6 good cards in Turtles that will work or have like a cool tech piece, whereas like there are so many staples that are coming out of these Attack on Titan sets. So, and I've also heard that Guilty Gear is going to be another jacked up power level, so I'm kind of excited for that. But I mean, it's just like these highs and lows of these sets it's crazy. And you can and if you're an experienced player, you can tell within 10 cards if what these sets are going to be like,
There is one more thing we do have to talk about before we go.
Oh, what's that?
And that is, and I'm putting the graphic up right now, it is this September 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific time here. We have Webcam Warriors.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
We have the webcam event. It is $15. It's a standard 5-round Swiss Universus event. Depending on player size, there will be a top cut, and it's taking place in the Ace Maneuvers Discord. Ryan, are you excited for this?
I am. I think I'm announcing it. I don't know. I think I'm going to be a part of it. We got to talk to Sam. I still think we have to talk to Sam about it.
Oh, Sam told me. Sam was like, "Hey, I trust you," and I was like, "Why?" But then, but then I was like, "Okay, I'm actually, I'm good at my job, so maybe we should be good here." But yeah, I think it's going to be hosted by yourself, myself, and maybe somebody else if we can find anyone who's interested. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. It's just going to be the single one-day event on September 20th. And we're going to be streaming it on YouTube at Rival Stage Gaming, this channel right here you're watching. And I'm going to set up the Twitch beforehand, and I'm not going to edit this video. Or maybe I will, who knows. But I'll set up our Twitch before that too, so we'll be on Twitch and YouTube as well there for both of those. But it's going to be a great time. That is Webcam Warriors Third Strike, taking place September 20th in the Ace Maneuvers Discord. $15 standard Universus tournament using webcam. Special thanks to Stark Dark Open Series, Undefeated at Locals, Response on Play Podcast, and Final Round Gaming. So that's it for us. I had fun with this.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I asked a lot of. I sent my ban list thing to a bunch of people. I'm like, hey, am I crazy?
Mhm.
I got some good feedback from it. So,
Good.
I think hopefully they do something. Man,
Yeah.
I hope they do something. But
I
we'll
would
see.
I would
We'll
really like some refreshments before
Yes.
Atlanta. Let's get out of here, dude. You got anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, yeah, I think I'm good here too. So thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and something motivational here. Ryan?
Thanks for watching, guys. Please roast me in the chat if you think I'm dead wrong or if I'm dead right. Any comments, great, but let me know if I missed anything. I'm curious.